One day, a very long time ago, there were three brothers who lived with their Uncle Jose because their parents had died. The first boy, Pedro, was 12. The second boy, Jose, was 11. And the third boy, Juanito, was 10. They liked living with their uncle because it meant that they could be together, but something was off about him. He would sleep all day and stay up all night. He would wake up at noon, do his chores, make dinner, put a hat and broom by the door, and then put the children to bed. As he was saying his good nights, he would always say, "Quédense en la cama, no salgan de cuarto, obedezcanme." And the kids wondered why he always said that. One night, while everyone was sleeping, Pedro was awoken by a noise in the kitchen. He heard laughter and singing, and he was wondering what was going on. He didn't want to disobey what his uncle had said, so he decided to go back to sleep. The next night, he was awoken by the same noise, and this time, he just couldn't resist. He decided to tiptoe around the corner and look through a crack in the kitchen door. He saw skeletons dancing, singing, laughing, and drinking in his kitchen. And it scared him because he didn't know what they were saying. He couldn't understand their language. So he went back into his room, and he was very scared about what he had just saw, and he wanted to tell someone. So he woke up his brothers, Jose and Juanito, and said, "There are skeletons in the kitchen." But they didn't believe him, and he said, "If you don't believe me, then go look for yourself." So they all went down to the kitchen and saw the skeletons again, and they saw one with a big white hat just like their uncle's. So they went back in their room, all terrified, and decided that they were going to devise a plan on how they could make this work, or fix the problem. So one night, when they heard it again, they decided to follow their uncle into the woods. And they saw him sitting there. In the middle of the woods, he put his hands up and he said, "Aléjate de mi, carne mía, aléjate de mi." And his skin came off and fell on the ground in front of him. And standing there was a bare skeleton. And then he started to swirl and twirl, and he said, "Vuelve a mi carne, vuelve a mi." And then wings came out, and he flew away with sounds that was like bones breaking. So the boys waited there for him until dawn, and when he came back, the uncle came back from flying and said, "Vuelve a mi carne mía, regresa a mí." And his skin came back. And when his skin came back, he decided to sweep where the skin had been so no evidence could be left. The boys went back to their room, and for the next 5 nights they were devising a plan on what to do. So on the 6th night, they decided to follow him again with a bag. And when they did, and the uncle decided to put his arms up again and chant, "Aléjate de mi carne mía, aléjate de mi." And then his skin fell off and he flew away again with sounds of bones cracking. Then, when he was gone, they took the bag over to the flesh, and Pedro, the oldest, put salt all over it. And then Jose, the middle child, he put lemon juice all over it. And then Juanito, the youngest, put chili powder on it. When the uncle came back, he said, "Vuelve a mi carne mía, regresa a mí." And his skin didn't come back. And then he said it again. "Vuelve a mi carne mía, vuelve a mí, vuelve ahora mismo, grito." And then he looked down and saw his pile of skin on the ground and saw what they had done to it, and he said, "I can't use this skin anymore." So he decided to fly away with a big scream and the sound of bones breaking. The children, they did fine on their own in the house because of the village people. They helped them. And now, whenever people hear the sounds of bones breaking, they say it's still their Uncle Jose looking for his flesh, or it means someone is going to die. The end.